So, hello, and welcome to this special episode of the Confidence Conversations podcast. And I can already hear you saying, why is this special? Well, this is me signing off from the Confidence Conversations podcast and saying cheerio as I've decided to bring it to a close. Now, when I started the Confidence Conversations podcast, I had no expectations on downloads. I had no idea who might listen or even where the conversation might take us. What I did know was that I wanted it to be confident, authentic conversations. And I didn't want to do any editing of the podcast. I wanted you to hear the conversations as they happened. And over the 4 series, I've been true to that and I've stuck to my word and I've done very little editing. So what you have heard, what you've listened to, and maybe what you've watched has been the conversation confidently, authentically, as it happened. There have been some amazing conversations. In actual fact, there's been 52 of them. I actually can't believe that. And they're all still available for you to listen to, download, to watch, to give me your feedback on. They're all still available for you. And those conversations range from everything from what confidence means to individuals, how it might help in your business or your work context. We explored core confidence, we explored comparison, we explored courage, the inner critic, to name a few. And then finally, we ended on imposter syndrome. So my thanks go out to all the guests, even back from the original episode back in 2022. Those of you who gave up your time so generously, those who sent questions, voice notes and video clips for the last episodes of each season so I could do a wrap up. I'm really grateful to you and the time that you gave to the podcast. And of course, thank you to Patrick for stepping in as the host on the last episode on imposter syndrome. So now, as I'm signing off from the Confidence Conversations podcast, I thought I'd leave you with my own answers to the quick fire questions that I asked every guest at the end of each episode of the last season. So take a breath, and here we go. When was the last time you felt confident? What were you doing? Who were you with? And where were you? And this one's really interesting for me because there are probably 2 things that spring to mind quite quickly. The first one was at the beginning of June. I did a webinar, a free webinar, all about taming your inner critic. The irony was my inner critic had held me back from doing that for a while. And it went really well. I felt really confident. I had great attendance. The sign-up process worked well. I had some really positive feedback from the session. I had lots of people turn up live. That definitely gave me confidence. And thank you to those of you that contributed to that and turned up as well. The second one is a recent DISC debrief. So some of you know that I do psychometric testing and I use Everything DISC by Wiley. And in this case, I was called in as the expert, which I would never call myself. But DISC is something that I work with daily. So my knowledge and my confidence with it is quite high. And this often happens with confidence where people talk about it in relation to their knowledge. So if I'm knowledgeable about what I'm talking about, I feel more confident. So those would be my 2 examples. And I might challenge you to go away and think about where are those spaces where I feel more confident and why? What is happening around me? What's my environment? Who's influencing that? And maybe what can I take from those scenarios into the scenarios where I feel less confident? Because there'll be something without a doubt. So the next question is, what's a non-negotiable for you about your confidence? I love this non-negotiable. What's non-negotiable? For me, it has to be practice. Like anything we want to be good at, we have to practice. And one of the things that if you followed me for a while, you'll know I really don't like is fake it till you make it. And what I really love is a take on that, which is act as if. So act as if you are confident. Even if you're not feeling confident yet, act as if. So then what's one daily confidence habit that you'd recommend? Well, for me, this is linked to practice, and this word is courage. You'll need courage to be confident, and you'll never feel confidence first because confidence comes after action. So you'll have to take action, which is where the courage comes in. And remember, courage doesn't have to be big. It can be small things. Everything's relative. So it doesn't mean jumping out of a plane, skydiving, hot air ballooning, whatever you want to do, unless that's courage for you. It could be something smaller, going to networking, saying no to something. It could be your first post on social media or your first comment on social media. It could be buying someone in the queue near you a coffee. But practice turns into consistency. You build a habit and you keep going. And then finally, what's one piece of advice to turn self-doubt into confident action? Well, you can probably all guess what I'm going to say here, and that is to pull up your big pants. Take the action and go and do that thing you've been putting off. So remember, big pants are just like a superhero pulls on a cape. You stand taller, you puff out your chest, and you've got a surge of courage that will give you confidence. Pull up your big pants. Go and take that action that you've been fearing. So finally, massive thanks to all of you who subscribed, listened, streamed, downloaded, watched. You sent me messages when you loved an episode. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I could not have done it without you. I really hope you enjoyed, and maybe you took a tip or two away to support your confidence building adventure. So this is me signing off from the Confidence Conversations podcast. And finally, just to say, keep on pulling up those big pants. Don't forget, you can follow me for more over on social media. You can find out more details of my social accounts on enrichmentcoaching.co.uk.